Back to our proper installation techniques. As seen in the previous video, the more wraps around or through the bollards, chocks, and rollers, the more tension is added to the rope. So as in the first video, you saw that the field technician commented that there was at least 100 kilograms of back tension into the mooring line. As you saw in the video, the rope was routed multiple ways in order to induce this back tension. To the second point, the more wraps around or through the bollards, chocks, and rollers can cause the rope to twist and turn. So what you want to make sure to do is that there isn't a significant amount of twist added to the line during installation. It wasn't discussed in the video, but by inducing counter twists or counter turns as you route the rope will help ensure that there is no twist in the line as it goes onto the winch drum. The next technique is to ensure the rope doesn't contact any rough surface during the installation. This can include surfaces like anti-skid decks, rusted or sharp areas, or anywhere where the rope can receive abrasion damage. In this video, a field service technician is using a hand line to prevent the rope from running across the anti-skid deck. Our next installation technique is using water. When installing the rope, the use of water can be used in order to cool down the rope contact surfaces. In this video, we will see a field technician using water in order to cool down the surface of the bollard so the rope doesn't receive melting damage. This technique is especially important when in hot areas that causes additional heat transfer from the bollard to the rope. The final installation technique is when installing the rope, make sure that there are no gaps or spaces when winding onto a winch drum. If there are gaps or spaces present, then this can cause the rope to dive into the line itself, and also this can cause for the line to take up too much space on the drums. Here is a video of a crew member winding the mooring line onto the winch drum. Notice how he has a nice even lay of the rope onto the winch drum. Also notice how there is no twist in the line. Next we will cover how to properly attach the rope to your winch drum. Please note, when attaching the mooring lines to the winch drums, there are various winch drum setups. Some drums have a U-bolt attachment on the inside or the outside of the drum to attach the mooring lines. Also, secondary lines can be used to attach the mooring lines to the winch drum. Pictured here is how to use a secondary line to attach the mooring line onto the winch drum. Pictured here is the U-bolt, which is commonly used with the winch drums and is used to attach the mooring eye to the winch drum. Next we'll move on to attaching pendants. The preferred method of attaching a pendant to a mooring line is using the cow hitch method. A good recommendation would be to use hand lines between the mooring line and the pendant in order to offer a better method for removing the pendant from the mooring line. Because once the rope is under tension, this will cause a tough area to remove the pendant from the mooring line. Pictured here is an example of the cow hitch. The cow hitch is a good method of joining the mooring line and the mooring tail. However, it strongly suggests that these two pieces are put under load that two pieces of tag line can be inserted on each side of the cow hitch to ensure that they can be easily taken apart when it comes time to replace the mooring tails. Here's an example of a cow hitch to the left. On the right is using the hand lines in order to create a separation point from mooring tail to mooring line. This is the end of the mooring installation video. If you have any more questions regarding installation to mooring lines, please contact your Samson representative.